Welcome to the arena and welcome to Gladiator's Mastermind. Without further ado, I'll dive into today's topic, which is the law of vibration. But before I proceed, I would like to recap on everything we have been discussing in prior teachings. Okay, just so we're following along because we are building a foundation. All right, because all of these things I'm teaching so far is still surface level. So I want to make sure we are following along. And if you're missing anything, make sure you go back to the previous teachings. All right, and dive into um, the connecting the dots. All right, reflect on it. Don't just listen uh, to this video. Try and pay attention and comprehend. That's the difference between hearing and actually comprehending. Okay, you could be distracted watching something. I really need you to comprehend this thing. All right, it's very important. It's keen to your everyday activity. All right, the first ever uh, teaching was about discovering yourself. All right, after we discovered ourselves, mind, body, which is connected to the spirit, right, which is the infinite intelligence. Then we dove into, if I remember vividly, uh, mastering your environment. All right, mastering yourself before environment or before outside, external, which involves, um, what would I call it? You know, you're not a product of your external environment, you're a product of your internal environment. And in order to understand the product of your internal environment, we dove into our internal abilities, which is commands and laws. Okay, so we're taking it further, okay, a little bit further into the command aspect, which is where the law, the laws that govern reality come into play. Let me change my pen. Looks like this one is dying off. Okay, just go and watch the previous videos. If you have any questions, and like, comment, subscribe, please share this on Facebook, send it to your friend group, and let's awaken everyone. Today's topic, the law of vibration. Vibration. All right. Before any other law is created, let me tell you, before you and I exist, this law itself exists. All right. And I'm going to back this up, or what's the word? I'm going to prove this to you in two ways. All right. Using science and using scriptures. Now, when I say scriptures, all right, we're all familiar with the Bible. Okay? This is the Bible. All right? This is not just a book for Christians. All right? This is a book for everyone. Just like you could read any book, right? You could be a Muslim and read this book. You could be a Hindu, a Buddhist, wherever your religion is. Because at the end of the day, you weren't really in control. You don't have a choice of what ethnicity you were born into, what country you choose to be born into. Remember the last video I said a child doesn't have the conscious part. They don't get to choose for themselves. They take into the programming of the environment and the people that they were born into. So what if you grew up in a household where your parents are non-believer? Does that mean you can't read the scriptures? What if you grew up a Muslim? Does it mean this is forbidden to you? No. See, don't let religion um, disconnect you from the truth. Okay, regardless of your background, the truth doesn't change. All right, and you also can be connected to the scriptures. All right, and science has studied the scriptures. Now, the Bible is not the only scriptures. However, the original Bible originated from Ethiopia. I'm not going to dive into that today. However, I'm going to prove to us today the law of vibration. You might have been exposed to a lot of the scientific part from maybe social media. I don't know what your um, daily social media content looks like, but I will start with the scientific part. All right. We all know who Albert Einstein is, right? One of the greatest, if not the greatest scientist or physicist that majority of us know. Okay, Albert Einstein said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it." Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Okay, and what is energy? Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's transformed from one form to another. Okay? Einstein. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. It means my word as I'm speaking to you right now is transforming into a recording that you're now watching on YouTube that will remain for however long it is. I don't know, right? Or that this same voice is transformed into a message that you now comprehend, and now it's making changes and transforming you in a good way, right? Energy is neither created nor destroyed, can only be transformed from one form to another. Now I'm going to use the scriptures, all right? This Bible verse, okay? John chapter 1 verses 1, and it reads, "In the beginning was the word," sound. "The word was with God, and the word was God." If in the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. So it's pretty much saying at the start of everything, whether you want to call it the Big Bang Theory, whatever you choose to call it, for the scientists watching this, it's all the same. Don't complicate it, all right? Whether you're a religious person or not, just understand the truth and the truth only, right? The beginning, in the beginning was the Word. So we have a Word. The Word was with God. So the Word is God. And the Word was God. Interesting. So what do you get? Word is God. God is Word. What is Word when you speak? Well, it's vibration, right? Your voice. When you speak out, it's a spoken word. So we get vibration. Vibration, echo, sound. Vibration is God. God is word. Or you can say God is vibration. So pretty much vibration is God and God is vibration, vice versa, which goes back to this, right? Energy. Vibration is energy, right? It goes back and forth, back and forth. Vibration is God, and God is vibration. It's a balanced chemical equation for my science students, so people who are educated. Nothing against if you are not, but it was just a reference to this equation arrow when I learned in chemistry and biology. It means you can shift back and forth. You see, this is indestructible. All right? Indestructible. Vibration is God. What is God? Generator, operator, destroyer. Okay? Generator, operator, and destroyer of all things. You can generate, you can operate, and you can destroy. Right? The destruction means you can modify back. You can convert things. You don't technically destroy it, you can just modify it. That's what the destructive part. You can generate it out of out of matter. You can operate it and you can destroy it. So, if everything is energy and energy is neither created nor destroyed, and In the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. And vibration is a word. When you speak, your voice works vibrate. That's how you're able to speak. And vibration is God. God is word. So vibration is God. Why? You can call it a big bang. God is the big bang, right? A chain reaction. The creator of the universe, right? And in fact, verses 14, he said, and the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. John chapter 1, verses 14. And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Right? That's what I'm going to center the entire teaching today on. And this word right here became flesh. So at the end of the day, we can confirm three things, both scientifically and in the scriptures, that word is vibration, vibration is God, and if word became flesh, flesh, right? That means if word became flesh, that means vibration becomes flesh, and God, the generation of all things, created flesh, which is the creation of this, right? Let us make man in our image. Then boom, this was formed, right? The word became flesh and dwelled among men. What does this really mean if we dive into it? What I'm trying to get into is the previous teaching. I said your word is a command, your writing is law. If your words are truly commands, because they are, right? It's because your words are vibration and your words become flesh. What is another word for flesh? Matter, right? Material atom transferring through time energy resonance, vibration, right? Your words or flesh right here is your body or matter. Now I'm going to take it beyond just your body, right? Because we're not the only thing existing, right? Everything in your living area, everything in your office right now, in your bedroom, everything is matter, right? And it was spoken by word. Or it was an idea at one point to create it. And guess what? Every single thing, thought energy. Your thoughts are energy. And vibration is energy, can neither be created nor destroyed, but transformed from one form to another. The same as your words. When you speak, it shapes your tomorrow. When you say something about yourself, whether you mean it or not, it is true because your word will become flesh. Your word is going to transfer through energy, time, resonance. It's going to crystallize into an experience that you cannot escape if you do not speak against it. If it's negative and you do not speak against it and say you rebuke it or you decide to change it, you shall experience it. It is law. That word became flesh, word became matter, and your words are vibration. Your words are frequencies. Matter, right? So choose your words lightly. Now, vibration. When things vibrate, you have different frequency levels. All right? You're always vibrating. Everything around you right now is vibrating. Nothing rests. Nothing is at rest. Right? To your physical eyes, it is. But it is not. All right? That's just your eyes can only see what they call the visible spectrum. You can't see gamma rays, X-ray, all these other millions and billions of frequencies that exist, right? Your dogs see different frequencies and colors than you do. So the things you know as blue, your dog do not know it as blue, right? Your cats do not see the same color spectrums as you, right? Humans, we have our own visible spectrums. It's different from all other animals. So what's really the truth? Is blue really blue? No, it's blue to us. But we're not going to dive into that today. Energy frequencies. Energy, if neither created nor destroyed, you can transform from one form to another. That means You cannot destroy a feeling or state of your mind or your health. You can change it. You can oscillate, you can vibrate really high, or you can vibrate really low. And put this arrow right here. Vibrate really low. Right? Now, the ultimate purpose of why you exist, why you are living experience, because remember, God said, and I put my image in man. I duplicated myself into you. If you're a duplicate of something that created everything, how powerful do you think you are? Are you still begging? No. He said you have dominion over everything. That's how we are able to create. Even the camera I'm recording on right now, somebody imagined it and they created the light bulb, the engines, your car, your television, right? We're evolving the iPhone and so on and so forth because we have the power of creation right inside of us. Now, if the highest form of vibration is enlightenment, this is the goal. This is where everything is just zen. You don't even worry about your environment. All right? Everything is just peace, joy. You're fulfilled. You have abundance. You lack nothing because you know you have everything. And all you have to do to materialize whatever you imagine is just to speak it because your words are command and your writing is law and your words are vibration. So therefore, you're trying to achieve enlightenment or you're trying to achieve your God status, which means God said, let us make man in our image. Not black, white, tall, skinny, short. I told you, the first thing I said to discover yourself, you are not your body. You're a mind living in a body. The image, however, dwells in you, right? Your goal is to master the ability that God has given you to dominate earth, right? You must master your godlike image, which dwells in you, to be fruitful and multiply and create, all right? And we've been doing that. However, there are some other people that use this um, faculty, this ability for negative things, right? That's why we have evildoers. I'm not going to get into that. However, if somebody is angry or poor, we've all been there at some point, right? You're feeling sick, right? If you continue to reaffirm this state, you're vibrating low. Once you recognize a low state of vibration, your goal is to recognize it and say, okay, I feel angry right now. Quit reaffirming it as like, I'm so angry, I'm just gonna do this to everyone. Well, you're gonna stay on that frequency. And every event and chain of reaction, remember, there's gonna be events and things that continue on every single frequency. Every single frequency you vibrate on, whether it's wealth, health, right? Maybe right here, miracle, whatever you want to call it. Like people that have achieved, that can heal themselves. Yes, you can. Because even Jesus said, right? Greater miracles ye shall do, greater than I, right? I'm going to dive into all of this later, but I want to stick around vibration, all right? And I hope by now we've agreed the scripture is true and science is true. I can teach. I'm combining both science and scriptures, right? This visual part is the scientific visualization, so you can connect. However, you can vibrate. If you are angry, recognize it, exit that vibration. Do not continue to vibrate low. There's a saying, do not let 5 minutes, do not milk a 5 minute negative experience for the entire day or something like that, right? If you're in this vibration, don't stay there the entire day. Get out of it, all right? Just ask yourself, am I a slave to this situation? Okay, I'm angry. Somebody pissed me off. Am I a slave to them? Do they have access to my mind? Yes? Well, then you're a slave to them. No? Then you free your mind. I'm in charge of my mind. then boom, you exit and you vibrate higher. All right, you can change your thoughts at any given time. Now, when you speak words, they crystallize into experiences, moments that you later experience, right? In the future, which is why you could have a coincidence and say, oh, I said this last week and boom, it happened right now. Okay? Your words, since they are vibrations, when they settle, they crystallize into experiences or events that your flesh, your matter must experience. Remember, the mind is always ahead of the body. The mind is ahead of the matter. So mind is this energy, thought, right? When you broadcast thought into the universe, right? It goes and create experiences and coincidence of things and people you will meet. They crystallize into experiences and moments. Then the body has to experience. Why? As within, so without. As above, so below. And your mind is above, the body is below. The mind is within, the body is outside. So the body must obey the law of wherever the mind is. So if the mind is using its imaginative ability to get you out of a situation you do not want, be very certain if you believe your imaginative thoughts to be true, your body must experience it. All right? That's why vibration is very important. From vibration comes all these other laws like attraction, right? And I'm going to cover that in the next teaching because attraction has everything to do with your heart. All right? Your mind broadcasts, it creates image, it sends message out of what you desire. However, how you receive your blessings is with the heart. Anyway, I would like to wrap up this teaching today. Just remember that your words are vibration. Vibration is energy. And your words becomes your future experiences. It doesn't go wasted. As I'm speaking right now, it doesn't end it, right? It's gonna be on YouTube and people can watch it and watch it all over again. So did I waste my words? No. So just like 10 years from now, this teaching, somebody's gonna tune into it. My words become an experience for them or teaching vessel for them to understand the basics of the law of vibration. This is basics. I can dive into more deeper teaching than this, but I want you to understand very simple chain reaction, right? Your words become things. Just like your unspoken words, your thoughts become things. What are things? It's just matter. Matter is everything that has to do with your external reality. Whatever you can see, feel, touch, taste, smell. That is reality. The mind, however, is ahead of the reality. You can think back into the past and you can project yourself into the future. You can think, what would I want to be 5 years from now? I see this. You are ahead of the body because the body is present, right? Those are the abilities of your higher faculties of the mind, right? I'm going to teach that as we continue to dive deeper into the teaching. But if you have any questions, please leave some comments. I would like to see your comments. I'm checking to see what comments. If you have any questions, follow my Instagram, Train with Gladiator. My personal Instagram page is Gladiator the Dragon. All right. I would love to hear from you. And that's it for today's teaching. All right.